I want to update my profile on the person I've been calling Bishuasi. I'm thinking about this video that I believe she made to communicate with me across the international highway, which is the internet. And I believe, in spite of all, that there could be millions of people on there, that this particular video was put on there by her. Although it's not under her name, the only clues I have are the appearance of the hands, because you couldn't see her face, and not much of her body either. But, there were some other clues that she did make this video, and I'll just leave it at that. Now, I've been saying that I think that Bishuasi may be Jewish by having been born to a Jewish mother, and that this mother probably died in a catastrophic accident, possibly a car accident, involving Bishuasi. She was in the accident as well. Her mother died in the accident, and Bishuasi was severely injured, requiring a hospitalization for, I don't know, as long as a year or more. She suffered immensely. She suffered the kind of agonizing pain that people who go through catastrophic injuries of that kind do suffer and are probably never able to communicate to others the depth of the pain and suffering that they experience. So, I don't want to go off in detail on how I come to conclusions of that kind, because I want to move forward. In this video that I believe she made, she's wearing a pair of white slip-on, slip-off shoes. Women call these shoes flats because they don't have high heels. They look like loafers. That's the kind of shoe that I would identify as the kind of shoe this is, from what little I know of shoes. So she's wearing these white shoes, and I'm saying to myself, since she's Asian, the reason she was wearing these white shoes was twofold. One is, I'm a white man, she's trying to express interest in me. I'm white. Well, I'm white, I'm actually, never mind, let's just accept that I'm white. Okay, let's not argue that. I'm a white man, I'm a Caucasian, so those shoes mean that she's going to get into a relationship with me. She's going to wear white shoes. Now, these shoes are worn white shoes. They were not new. So what does that mean? That tells me that she was probably in a relationship with another white man. And who might this white man have been? Well, from the time I start to take notice of her, I see that she's wearing, I guess this is called a wedding band on her wedding ring finger. Okay? So, since those white shoes were worn white shoes, they weren't like new, where she said, "Oh, I'm gonna get into a relationship with a white man. Let me symbolize this by buying some white shoes." No, these were older shoes. So I'm saying it's possible that those that wedding band on her wedding ring finger, or sometimes she wore it around her neck. That was the wedding band for a white man she had married, possibly a fan of hers, who passed away. She loved this man, so she continued to wear these rings. Now, I'm thinking this man may have been wealthy for a number of reasons. And I don't want to go into them, but there are other indications in what I've seen from this person that she may be from, if not an impoverished background, let's say middle class or under background. And she became wealthy when this man she had married passed away without any heirs. The two of them had not had any children, and he had no heirs, so he was a very wealthy man, and she inherited his fortune, so she became wealthy. Now, why do I say that she appears wealthy? Well, it's too complicated to go into right now. I'm just summing up. I'd say there are mannerisms that she has, behaviors that you can see that indicate to me that she is wealthy. That's the best I can do to sum up. So, I'm saying that she continued to wear these rings, or the ring, this wedding band, out of love for this man who had passed away. And this had been some time since he had passed away, so she no longer needed to be in mourning for this man. He had passed away, I don't know, long enough ago that no one would expect her to still be in mourning for the death of this man. She wouldn't have had to wear that wedding band at all, but she wore the wedding. She continued to wear the wedding band because she loved this man, and she wanted to honor the love she'd had for this man. Then she got interested in me, and when I saw that ring on her finger, not knowing much about these rings, even though I myself am married, and yet I'm a single man because I converted to Judaism a few years ago, and when I did, the rabbi who converted me said on the completion of my conversion, "You are now a single man." Okay, because apparently I'd been married in the Christian church, and now I was Jewish, so my marriage was no longer valid. So I'm single. Okay, so anyway, when I saw the ring on her hand, not knowing much about these rings, because I am not a ladies' man, I'm not a man who dated women, I have very little experience with the opposite sex. From a certain point of view, now I've been married for over 30 years, so from other points of view, I have a lot of experience with the opposite sex. But when it comes to relationship type experiences with women where you're going to be dating around and you were like back going to your prom. I never went to any prom. I had never had experiences like this with the opposite sex, what they call puppy love, these kind of things. I never had a girlfriend. I met my wife when I was 40 years old, and married her about a year later. So, from certain points of view, I have no experience or very little experience with women, and from other points of view, I have a lot of experience, depending on how you look at it. Nevertheless, to get back to that ring, when I saw that ring, not knowing much about these rings, I didn't even know that I was supposed to give the lady that I married an engagement ring when I asked her to marry me, because I didn't really ask her to marry me. I just told her basically that we were going to get married. I don't want to say this the wrong way. What I said to her was, if we stay together for like maybe a year or so, this was the beginning of our relationship. No, we'd been together almost about a year. So I said, if we stay together, we could get married. Okay. Now, later that night, my wife called me up. She's deaf. She called me up on TTY. She said, "Did you say you want to marry me?" And I said, "Yeah, will you marry me?" I typed that over. So I did. But to give her an engagement ring, I didn't know you're supposed to do that. So she got no engagement ring. No one told me these things, so I did not know that. So she got an engagement ring like years later. Years later, I bought her an engagement ring, maybe 15, 20 years later. Okay, so I don't put much store by these rings. And I bought her wedding band. It cost $40. Mine cost $45. I wasn't spending more on mine. It just worked out that way. So I don't put much store by these rings. And so when I saw there was a ring on Bishuasi's ring finger, for some reason I felt she's not married. This person is not married. Even though I saw that ring, then I saw it around her neck, I said, she's not married. So there are two basic explanations of why she might not have been married and still wore that ring. One is the one I just gave. She married a man, he passed away. She continued to wear the ring in honor of their marriage and her love for him. The other explanation was, and this was my original understanding of that ring on her finger, I was saying, this is a beautiful woman on television, and she does not want men calling her up and asking her out on dates. For whatever reason, she didn't want that. So she wore a wedding ring to like have a piece of garlic in front of a vampire or a crucifix to hold up in front of a vampire. Hey, stand back. Okay, she put the wedding ring on to ward off possible suitors, because as beautiful as she is, I'm sure there must have been men calling up, trying to get in touch with her all the time, probably. And she just got tired of it, so she said, "Here, I'm married. Here's my ring. Do not call me." Okay, so I saw the ring, and I said, she's not married for one of those two possible reasons. One, she's warding off possible suitors, and she's really not married. Two, she was married, and she loved this man who passed away, so she continued to wear the ring. Now, I'm saying those worn white shoes in the video are the key to this interpretation. Why would she be wearing shoes like that? And obviously, the shoes are important symbolically to her. Why? She chose to wear symbolic colored socks. She's a very beautiful, very feminine woman, and she's wearing blue socks. I'm not sure men wear blue socks. You know, men are going to wear dark colored socks, pretty much. They're not going to wear blue like that, but blue is the color associated with boys, right? And men. And so here's this beautiful woman. she doesn't have like stockings. She's got a pair of blue socks on with these white shoes. And although I could branch off into my interpretation of why she chose those blue socks, it's enough for me to say at this point that this person, being a communicator the way she is clearly aware of the importance of symbolism in every detail of her appearance. So she's wearing those blue socks for a reason, and she's wearing those white shoes for a reason. And so I'm putting together my interpretation based on how keenly aware I can see Bishuasi is of communicating the way she does in every detail. When she appears in a video or on television, I'm sure just every day when she gets dressed and goes about her business in the world, she's aware of this level of detail, especially because she's had a career of appearing on television. So, there's my update. I'm saying that those worn white shoes indicate to me that although she was wearing those in reference to me, like I'm going to get into a relationship with this white man, the fact that they were older shoes that she had worn a lot tells me she was probably in a relationship with a white man, a Caucasian. And I'm saying, along with the rings and other indications, this other man had passed away. Let me add this footnote to my comments, my update on the person that I've been calling Bishuasi. Let's say that those white shoes she wore in that video I believe she made do symbolize her former relationship with another white man who had been her husband and has passed away, okay? And let's say that he was wealthy, okay? And she did inherit his wealth. Well, the kind of world that I've been in over the past 40 years, completely ostracized in the United States. I've been in what I call solitary confinement for over 40 years. Kind of solitary confinement. Well, I did manage to marry, miraculously, I married a woman who is profoundly deaf. She's from a foreign land. She's Asian. And deaf people do not like to say that she can't talk, but for all practical purposes, she cannot talk, okay? And she tries to talk with her voice and say things. She can't make herself understood. She just can't do it. Now, there was a term that used to be used for deaf people. I'm not going to use it, but that's my wife. So I did marry, and so here's the weird thing that happened. Often my wife tells me she feels others are criticizing her, okay, for having married me and being taken advantage of me to get things like the benefits I got from the job I worked, or even the money I made from the job I worked. When no one would hire her, no matter how hard she tried, or I tried to help her get hired, no one would hire her. So when I saw this kind of thing happen, I said, This is an example of the kind of really super evil world we live in. I'm just going to accuse my wife of this kind of thing, when the truth is, I could not have survived in the workplace at all without her support. I simply couldn't have done it. So the idea that somehow she was taking advantage of me to get benefits, this is absolute outrageously absurd. Okay? I hope I've made that point. It's outrageously absurd, not a little. Okay? So, here in this evil world where I think religious folks would agree that, I was raised in Christianity, and the idea was that rulers of the material world, who is the prince of the material world? He's that mythological creature that Christians call Satan. That's the man who rules money and power in this world. He's evil. So, okay, now let's say that it's true that this person I'm calling Bishuasi, she married this white man. She's living in an Asian country. Maybe she was coming in for a lot of criticism after he passes away and she becomes wealthy. You just married that white man to get his money, right? So after he passes away, she's going through this kind of thing. So she continues to wear his rings in the face of all these people saying, I love this man. I'm going to wear his rings. Then she falls for me. And who am I? I am not wealthy at all. Okay, if I'm right about whom my biological father, he was a coal miner. He was absolutely poor all the way into his old age. He was a poor, poor man. Okay, so where am I from? I'm from the lower class. And right now, I'm sitting in a house where we don't have heat because we can't afford to pay for heat. Why? We got to help our son, who's in expensive New York City, so we're going without that kind of thing. Help him. We're middle class, okay? So, Bishuasi now falls in love with a white man. Again. Just because she fell in love with this other white man, but it wasn't for his money. And now she's fallen in love with another white man, and it's not because I do or don't have money. But I don't have the money, so she's saying essentially, hey, it's love again. And I don't give a damn about the money. I'm in love. So, here's a corollary, if you will, to the proof for Bishuasi's love for me. It's real. It's the way love is supposed to be.